All right, we're going to tie a pattern today called the Mack's Canyon. This is a real popular steelhead fly. We're going to mount a size 4 up-eye traditional black steelhead or salmon hook. And then we're going to build a little bit of a thread base down to the point of the hook. Stop even with the points of the hook and we'll tie in our tail. You can use hackle fibers like the traditional pattern calls for here, but we're going to vary it up a little bit and use some bucktail. I like to have a little bit stiffer, brighter tail on my Mack's Canyons. This is just fluorescent white bucktail, Spirit River. And I love using their UV2 materials. They really just light up in the water. We're going to take some white bucktail. We're going to tie it in a little bit long and then pull it to length. We want it to be just past the back side of that bend of the hook. We'll do the same thing with some orange bucktail. Again, Spirit River UV2 orange. Take out some of the longer fibers here, and we're going to put that right on top. And then this hook has a tapered eye on the front. We're just going to use that bucktail to kind of bridge that gap and make this a nice even body fly to tie on top of. We'll take our thread back to where we tied in that bucktail tail and then wrap forward just a little bit, and we're going to tie in our ribbing material. This is silver oval French tinsel. And tie that in, tie it down the full length of the body, try to keep that nice and even, and keep it on the bottom side of the hook. The butt portion of this fly is going to be done with Angora goat dumbing. I like the scraggly and buggy look to Angora goat. And this is a fluorescent fire orange. We're going to build a little bit of a taper here. About 40% orange and about 60% black is what we're going to end up doing here for the body. Add a little bit more here, try to keep our taper going. You feel like you got a good taper there, we can go ahead and start our black Angora goat. This also has some nice translucency in the water. Go ahead and just build up a taper, try to continue that from the butt. We're going to leave a little bit of a space at the front to finish this fly, for the collar and the wing. When you feel like you got a good taper there, we're going to go ahead and take our ribbing material. And open wraps all the way through that. Nice and even, and tie that off right at the front side of that black dubbing. And you can take your pick and kind of comb that out before or after when we do this. But we're going to do the collar here first. And that collar is going to be some Spirit River black schlappen. And we're only going to need a couple turns here, depending on how thick your schlappen is. This is real great schlappen from Spirit River. We're going to tie it in, and I'm going to use the back half of this so that the tips of this feather, the tips of the hackle fibers go just past the point of that hook. We're going to take our scissor blades and we're just going to kind of fold back on the stem of this schlappen, just to kind of get everything facing the right direction. And we'll go ahead and start to turn that. One wrap right in front of the other, and that'll be good to make everything face backwards. When you think you got a nice collar there, we'll go ahead and tie this off. And we'll clip off that stem. I like to leave a little bit of that stem there so I can really mash it down with the thread. Just adds a little bit of extra durability here. Go ahead and go up to the base of that eye and back down. Kind of manipulate that with your fingers a little bit to make sure that your hackle, your collar is nice and even all the way around. And we'll go ahead and start the wing. The wing on this is going to be Spirit River. This is their calf tail. Real bright fluorescent white. Really easy to work with, really easy to tie in and even. So we'll remove some of the under fluff there. We want that to go just to the base of where we tied in that tail. We'll start with a clump of white, and then we'll go back, and this is the orange version. So we'll put just a little tuft of orange on the top as well. You'll see this pattern tied in a couple different ways, where you have the orange on top of the white or the orange underneath the white. We're going to put the orange on top of the white here. And again, we're going to use this is bucktail on top of the calf tail. I'm going to pull that up. We use our scissor blades, and that'll give us a nice tapered head to build our thread on. We'll kind of just cover up those butt ends. Build a nice tapered, smooth head. Make sure that wing veils out a little bit and covers the top maybe third of that hook. Got one little stray fiber in there. I don't like to cut my fibers. I'll go ahead and take a cauterizer tool and I'll go ahead and burn that off. Make sure that I don't have any kind of nub in there. And then just fill in any parts of that head. Go ahead and whip finish this off. And the last step to this is I really like a glossy head on my classic patterns, on my Steelhead patterns. So we'll take some clear cure goo hydro. We're just going to apply it to the thread wraps on this. It's going to add some durability as well as give us that glossy head. I think the easiest way to do this, I just go ahead and squeeze a little bit out on a cap and then use it with my bodkin to apply this. Don't need a lot of this hydro. It sinks in really pretty well. Just make sure you've covered all your wraps. Builds a nice clean head. We'll go ahead and take it and hit it with the torch. This is the Pro Light. It only takes just a couple seconds. And that's the Mack's Canyon. It's a great pattern for Steelhead, very popular pattern. You can find this pattern for sale on RockyMountainFlyDesign.com or tie up some of your own. Thank you.